This is Small Talk, Small Form Factor Network's news show. In this episode we talk Gigabyte launching a new Z370 ITX motherboard, Samsung upping their DRAM production, Zotac getting around Nvidia's GTX 1070 overclocking restrictions, and finally Razer releases a new smartphone. This Small Talk is brought to you by the community forum over at smallformfactor.net. We were probably the largest small form factor focused community on the internet, and we invite you to join us. There's a link in the description below to help you out there. First up, the Gigabyte Z370 Wi-Fi motherboard. Relatively recently, Gigabyte let us test their Razer Mini ITX board, and now they've followed this up with the Z370 Wi-Fi board. Unlike the board that we tested, this is not exactly a gaming board. However, it is relatively well spec'd in many departments, i.e. networking, dual Intel Gigabit, as well as dual band Intel Wi-Fi, a PCI Express X16 slot which is able to be bifurcated, as well as HDMI 2.0 for if you're using the onboard graphics. The board also has dual M.2 slots for your NVMe drives, one of which also features a heat guard. However, the benefits of this is subject to your own personal opinion. Also in these M.2 slots you can use the new Intel Optane memory, however your results may vary. Next up, Samsung is to increase their DRAM output. Now for the last 3 quarters or so we've seen significant price rises in DDR4. Now this is to do with demand with the smartphone market getting ever more popular, as well as just limited production. Samsung has finally gotten around to changing some of their factories around, so one of their 2D NAND facilities will be converted to production for DDR, as well as another facility is being expanded. Now we won't see any benefits pricing wise for DDR4 for the next maybe 6 to 12 months, but at least something is being done. Recently Nvidia released the GTX 1070 Ti series of graphics cards to fill a gap in the market. However, at launch they released a bombshell: no overclocking from the factory boards. Now this generally means that any GTX 1070 Ti you buy off the shelf has exactly the same memory clocks, exactly the same core clocks. It's a bit sad not to see factory overclock cards, however it's not that hard to get around the problem. And finally, Razer, better known for releasing high-powered gaming laptops and gaming peripherals, has released a smartphone. The phone features a 120Hz 5.72-inch screen, as well as a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor, 8GB of RAM, dual 12-megapixel rear-facing camera, as well as a 4000 mAh battery. The phone measures in about 8mm thick and will have an MSRP of around about $700 US. Well, that's it for this week. Feel free to like and subscribe and join us in the community in the link down in the description. Now this will be a weekly segment where I will join you and talk about the latest tech release that is focused in small form factor and mobile computing. So join us next week for the next Small Talk.